Hey, what's up, you guys? It's Mandy with My Trainer Mandy, your holistic lifestyle fitness and nutrition coach. I'm coming to you live from Australia. I'm trusting that I have a good signal or connection here. So when you jump on, do me a favor, comment below, say hi, give me some thumbs up, give me some hearts, share this video too from your timeline if it resonates with you. We're going to be talking about how to become your own healer. I have a lot of really valuable information to share with you guys on this video. As you know, I'm super passionate about this subject, about consciousness, about healing your body with your mind. So once again, I'm just trusting that all you guys can see this video clearly. Yeah, I see lots of thumbs up and hearts. I appreciate you all for jumping on. I see a lot of people on here right now. So do me a favor, click the share button, share this video to your timeline, because we all know people who require support in this area, right? Most of us know people who are on some type of pharmaceutical drugs. Potentially they have some type of diagnosis that they're dealing with, which is, very unfortunate. And, people require this support. They require this information, and knowing that there is the ability to heal your body, right? And I believe that honestly, we are our own healer and our own guru, and that we can look outside of ourselves for other people to support us in learning this information. But at the end of the day, we require going within and healing our own bodies, right? So that's actually what we're going to be talking about this evening, or it's evening for you guys. Obviously, it's morning for me. And it's so funny because yesterday and today I've had like some serious challenges trying to get this whole live video stuff up and going. And even all the way up until like just a few minutes ago, which is why I was a couple minutes late getting on here, I literally was having challenges. And I know that when that happens, that's only because that this video is going to be that powerful, because it's full of information. It's full of life-changing information. And I know, once again, in terms of consciousness and energy and everything that I've learned over the last several years, that when something like this happens, it's only because it's meant to be really big and it's meant to change people's lives. So please, please, from the bottom of my heart, if it resonates with you, because we all know people out there who are facing challenges with some sort of dis-ease or illness in the body, if you could please share this video to your timeline. That's really how you can show your appreciation for me, is by sharing this video. So everybody who's here right now, feel my love and feel my my appreciation for you all. I believe that everything is always in divine timing, and you wouldn't be here on this video otherwise. So with all that being said, get yourself some water, get yourself a pen and a piece of paper, because I think it's going to be a really good idea for you to take some notes. I'm going to be talking about a lot of symptoms in the body and how those symptoms correlate to certain emotions that you are likely experiencing, and then how you can get clear on some of these things, transmute them, transform them, let them go, reverse them, and then clear out that physical symptom that you have in your body that's causing the dis-ease. So this is going to be a really great video. So once again, get your pen and piece of paper. I'm about to take a sip of this good old water. Like, seriously, I've had some serious challenges this morning trying to get this all up and running, and that's why I'm just like, wow. So it makes it even more, what's the word? I feel right now even more just called to do this. So it's just like I'm feeling a lot of emotions around this whole thing. I'm going to be sharing my own personal testimonial, which obviously can be kind of personal and whatnot, and can bring up like feelings and emotions and stuff like that. So once again, I appreciate everybody being here. I appreciate your love and support. If you're on the video, comment below, say hi, potentially tell me where you're tuning in from. If you guys didn't know, I'm in Australia right now, in Gold Coast, staying with my beautiful sister Dana that I actually met at the retreat in Bali, and I'm super grateful to be here. It's such a lovely place. I'm actually sitting outside right now. You can probably hear those birds and stuff. And so if I remember, by the end of the video, I'll actually show you guys the view that I'm looking at right now. It's gorgeous. She's living right off of like this beautiful canal. And then right here, I have some watermelon, mint, and lemon juice. And you see I'm all coordinated with my colors today. I didn't necessarily do that on purpose, but yeah, I love purple. Woo! Okay, so I'm not going to look too much at the comments so that I can really just get flowing here, because I have a lot of stuff coming through me this morning. Like when I woke up this morning, I was like, ooh. And I had several conversations with people on Facebook Messenger, clients and people who just aren't even my clients, people that message me because they're asking me questions, they're going through certain challenges, and they're asking me if I'd be able to support them through it. And I was just like, ooh, I knew right then, because of that's exactly what this video required being about today. I really never know when I'm going to go live and like how I'm feeling about things. So I always just kind of wait for that download or that inspiration to take the action. And obviously today was one of them. So once again, we're talking today about how to become your own healer. And if you guys can do me a favor really quick and just comment below or give me some thumbs up and hearts and let me know that the video is working well, that it's coming through. I have 3 little bars on my phone. It's so funny, guys. I'm not even joking. Like, I have a Samsung Galaxy S7 and I'm actually using this little bitty Go phone that I brought with me to Bali just in case I had any sort of challenges. So it's that little bitty one. If you've been following me for a while, you remember back before I even left for Bali when I actually had some challenges. So I got this little Go phone. It was like a little $50 Go phone, and I'm so grateful that I brought it with me because it's actually come in very handy, because this phone here has been having some challenges here in Dana's house with just the reception. And so once again, even just getting on this phone this morning to get all this set up to do Facebook Live, and I was having challenges with it, and it was telling me I had to log back in, and I was like, goodness gracious. And I know, like I said, in terms of energy and how all this stuff correlates, that I create my reality, obviously, but that a lot of times when something is so big and it's going to have such an impact, that there's going to be a lot of challenges in order to have that come to pass, if you will. And so, you know, I mean, I'm sure you even see the expression on my face. I even feel that I'm even looking at myself, that I just look very serious right now and very determined, and that's because right now my heart is just it's just really full of all of this information. I actually went to an energy healing workshop thing last night here in Brisbane with Dana, and that's kind of another story about how I even ended up at that workshop. I can fill you in on that in a second, but in other words, like, all this stuff is coming from me right now, and it's not coming from Mandy, like the person that you see sitting here as, yeah, Mandy Fonville, my trainer Mandy. This is literally like stuff coming from collective consciousness, higher power, God, stars, source, creator, universe, whatever word you choose to call it. But this is information that's coming through me to you, because I am here to support people in waking up and remembering their truth, shaking people out of this reality that people are in, that we require pharmaceutical drugs, that we require getting stuff cut out of our bodies, that we require getting stuff burned, and, you know, that we require putting toxic, you know, chemotherapy drugs and radiation and all these things in our body. We do not. Okay, we get to get back to the basics. We get to wake up and realize the truth here. We get to open up our hearts. We get to get back to the basics of everything about our lifestyle, about what we're choosing to think about and focus on, and about what we're putting into our body. Okay, so if you have symptoms and dis-ease, I've been there before. I can empathize with you because I've been there too. I've had diagnoses. I've had, you know, 16 years of antidepressant drugs that I was told that I required because I had a chemical imbalance in my brain. So of course, you know, I'm very passionate about this subject. Yeah, this is what I do for a living. Yes, this is how I make money. Yes, this is how I pay my bills. But at the end of the day, I would do all of this stuff for free, for the simple fact that that is who I am, and that's who I'm called to be here on this earth, is to share this information with others. Okay, so I actually I just want to put that out there because I had posted something. It was wee hours of the morning for me, but I had posted something, and I had someone that kept commenting saying that, you know, I wouldn't be wasting my time posting this, and like, where's my sales pitch, et cetera, et cetera. And I had to block him, and I had to delete that. Like, I was not going to take that negativity on my post. I was not going to take that negativity, you know, on the comment feed where other people could see that, because I know in my heart what I'm here to do and why I do what I do. And yes, I require money to pay bills, because unfortunately we live in that kind of world now that we don't have the barter system and certain things available. And yes, we do require, you know, money to pay our bills. But at the end of the day, you know, the reason I make the post where I ask people, what is your passion, is because I'm trying to stimulate people to wake up and shake up and wake the fuck up out of your slumber and your dream of whatever it is that you have going on in your world, of why you're sick and why you're miserable and why you're unhappy. Okay. Because when you find out what your passion is and you follow your passion, your heart is going to open up. Your world is going to open up. Your world's going to change. You're going to be able to heal your body. You're going to feel phenomenal. You're going to be able to create your reality. And just like me, like, this wasn't always my reality. Yeah, I'm sitting here in Australia right now, but I did what I required doing to get to this point. It wasn't like it was just handed to me. You know, I won the Juice Fast retreat in Bali, and that's what started all of this whole thing. But it was something that I had been desiring to do for the past several years, which is exactly why I moved back home to College Station, to live with my mom, to build my online business so that I could do this. And that's why I moved to Florida at the end of last year. That was my first little, you know, thing. I was like, oh, cool, I'm going to go live by the beach. That's what my heart desires. And I did. I went and lived in Florida, and it was amazing, right? And then I went home for the holidays to see my mom. I was planning on going back to Florida, and then I won the Juice Fast retreat in Bali. And so, of course, you know, things changed in terms of the direction. I followed my heart, and I was like, that's exactly what I choose to do. And then, as you guys know, I was supposed to fly home on the 27th, and I didn't. I'm now here in Australia. So, yeah, I just was choosing to share that with you guys because, you know, these videos are powerful. These videos videos have information in them that changed my life. And as a physical human being, to have gone through everything that I went through and to be exactly where I am now, of course I have a huge heart of compassion, and I desire to share this information to support people in realizing that you can change your reality, you can change your life, you can heal your body, and you can have anything and everything that you absolutely desire. And only you, my sister and brother, are the ones that's holding yourself back from having those things. So once you can get clear with all that, and you can let go of your story and all the bullshit and all the lies that you've been believing for so long that's kept you stuck, because honestly, you are responsible for where you are. And if you're not able to move forward, it's because you're keeping yourself stuck. So today's video is going to be about getting clear on what you have going on and how you can support yourself in releasing and letting go of those things so that you can transform your life and heal your body and be happy and be healthy. Because believe me, 16 years on antidepressants, all the things that I went through, I know how it feels to feel hopeless and to feel all the things and to just not want to live anymore, because I've been there and I know there's so many people out there. I see people right here on this video right now that have messaged me specifically about these certain things. And so that is why I am here to do what I do. So do me a favor, hit the share button, share this on your timeline. Make sure you're signed up for my live Facebook notifications as well, so that when I go live, you'll get the notification. And most of all, and most importantly, feel my love and appreciation for each and every one of you who are on this video, because we are all here as souls and spirits having a human experience. And I believe that everything is always in divine timing. So for the fact that you're on this video and you've even connected with me and you're here hearing these words, know that that is all for a divine purpose in terms of your evolution and growth for your soul. Boom. Feel my love and appreciation. Can I get some thumbs up and hearts while I take another drink of my juice? And then I'm going to get rocking and rolling to what I'm really going to be talking about here, because I have my other little phone. So I'm going to pull up that information so that we can talk about the symptoms specifically. Isn't it great? Now that I kind of went off the chain. I see all you people on here too. Feel my love and appreciation. What's up, Shelly? I always feel your love, beautiful. I appreciate you so much, beautiful. All right, so, I had to get that out of the way. All right, so first let's talk about like this. Give yourself permission to forgive yourself. Whatever in the hell you've had going on that you've been believing for how many ever years it's been, or even potentially right now, if you've fallen off the wagon, because we all do. I do too. It's only human nature. If you've fallen off the wagon with your health goals, with your workouts, with your nutrition, maybe you're dealing with some stuff. Maybe you've said some stuff to people that hasn't been so nice recently. Maybe you've done something that you're super, regretful about, or you feel guilt or you feel shame. Give yourself permission to forgive yourself right this moment. Why? Because do you really want to waste more time, more minutes, more hours, more days, more weeks, more years? Do you really want to waste more time being in that place? What's the reason of doing that? There really is no reason. And always remember that fear is false evidence appearing real. So chances are you're focusing on something and you're creating in your mind this made up scenario that is not even gonna occur or wouldn't even occur. And it's all something that it's because you're creating it or you're focusing on it. Okay. So give yourself permission to forgive yourself, to let whatever it is go, and understanding that we all require being in the present moment of now, because life is a succession of nows. And if you're looking over your shoulder and you're living in the past about things, that, my brother and sister, is depression. Okay. And I've dealt with it before and I understand. And I remember being in that space and people saying, well, just think positive thoughts, just be happy, just this, just this. And I remember that it's not that easy. Okay. So understand that that is not all that I'm trying to tell you to do, but I can promise you that if you are suffering, if you hear that energy coming out of there, if you are suffering from some sort of depression, that it's because you are focusing in your past, okay? And let that be okay. But just understand that that's what's going on. And if you're suffering from some sort of anxiety, understand that that's because you are living in your future. And chances are you have a lot of fear going on. Once again, false evidence appearing real. You're using a lot of your, mental power, which is very, very extremely powerful. But you're using a lot of that to be focusing on things that aren't even happening. But, you're creating the potential for them to happen. And guess what? Whatever you focus on is whatever you get. So that's exactly what you're going to be creating. So let all of that fear, based mentality go and live in the present moment of now. The best way to be present in your moment of now is to have an attitude of gratitude, okay? To just be grateful for everything that you have in your life right now. I haven't always been sitting on a porch in Gold Coast, Australia, living the life of my dreams. Trust me, I have not. I have been there where you are. I have been on antidepressants. I've been on, other kinds of medication. I've been, drinking tons of alcohol. I've been miserable. I've been hopeless, and I've been, just really ready to check out. You know, I've talked about this on a lot of other videos. There was a lot of times where I'd just be on the phone at night crying to my mom saying how much I didn't want to wake up the next morning. I mean, goodness gracious. You know, I know that there are people out there that still live like that and that do live like that. And my heart goes out to you. And that's exactly what I'm choosing to talk about today, is that there's so many people in this world that are suffering from challenges that are created by their mindset that's causing them to have physical symptoms and dis-ease in the body. And of course, they're turning to their doctor because that's what we're all taught. So they're turning to their doctor. They're getting on toxic pharmaceutical drugs, or they're doing these surgeries, or they're getting shit cut out and they're getting shit put in their body so that they can lose weight. You know, they're getting their stomach stapled and strapped, and they're putting contraptions in and everything else, when in all actuality what it boils down to is that you get to dig really deep and figure out what the root of all of that is. And let me just tell you that most of the time, you know, it's not even your fault anyway, because when we're little bitty children, our subconscious mind is developed between when we're in the ages of like 3 to 6 or 7. I mean, I've heard different numbers, but the point is it's when you are not even intellectually capable of understanding what is going on in your environment. Okay. So God love them. Our parents did the best that they could. We do the best that we can. Their parents did the best that they could. But in all actuality, you were a little bitty being and you didn't understand intellectually that dad just had a bad day, or that mom and dad were fighting, or, you know, that mom had a bad day, or the babysitter, or your, you know, brothers or sisters, or whoever was in your environment. You didn't understand that. So intellectually, you didn't have the capacity to understand why certain things happen the way that they happen. And then you form stories, right? And you're associating those stories and the emotions, and you're creating that stuff in your reality now as an adult. So when you can get clear on what potentially occurred, and there's lots of healing modalities, there's different things that you can do: past life regression, breath work, hypnotherapy. There's many things that you can do to deal with a lot of this stuff that potentially you could have challenges accessing, right? Because it's in your subconscious mind. But in other words, you know, right now, as your conscious self, you can use your conscious mind to focus on whatever it is that you're choosing to create for your future. And you can have gratitude for your life. We can all sit here and have gratitude for the fact that we have air to breathe. Okay, that's the number one thing right now to be grateful for, that we're actually here on this earth and that we get to live this beautiful, magical journey called life. So if you are not feeling grateful for your life, take out a pen and a piece of paper and write down a list of what you are grateful for. I guarantee you have a list of many things that you can be grateful for in your life. If you have, you know, your divine partner, you have children, you have grandchildren, if you have a roof over your head, you know, if you have food to eat, you have breath in your lungs, you know, just to be here is a gift, right? So number one is to have gratitude for your life. All right. And then I've talked a lot too about my story, but I just want to get a little bit more personal here because, excuse me, I also posted too about you can't be committed to your bullshit story and committed to your growth at the same time. Hello, bingo. Does that resonate with anyone? Like, give me thumbs up and hearts if that resonates with you, because I lived in a bullshit story for a really, really long time. And it wasn't until I snapped out of that story and I was like, you know what? If I'm choosing to have my optimal health, then I require to stop drinking alcohol, because I was drinking alcohol like every weekend, maybe every other weekend. I was going out and I wasn't just having a couple drinks. Like, I was drinking to get down because I'm a very extreme type person and I like to drink. I like the way that I feel when I drink. I like the way that I feel when I get drunk. And if you know me and you've been following me for a while, I haven't had alcohol in about 1 year and 6 months. Actually, what is this? July 9th will be 1 year and 6 months that I haven't had a drop of alcohol, because I got to get clear and I got to say, you know what, Mandy, you're doing all these things. You're taking, you know, $1,500 to $2,000 of supplements every month. You're doing all this muscle testing. You're seeing all these naturopaths and holistic doctors, and you know, you're doing all this stuff and you're eating, you know, super clean and you're working out, but you're, you know, you're poisoning your body with alcohol. Okay. And that is my personal opinion. You know, there are some things out there in terms of alcoholic beverages that aren't the worst thing in the world if you find the pure good stuff, like some beers, specifically like hops, you know, because they do have some beneficial bacteria for the gut. So it's not the worst thing in the world. There are some organic wines out there, once again, that aren't the worst thing in the world for you. But at the end of the day, the conventional alcohol that we have out on the markets, the liquor and the beer and everything else, you know, that stuff is toxic poison. It's acidic any way you look at it. When you look at the pH scale of alkaline or acidity and alkalinity, or alkaline and acid, and you compare and you see where alcohol is, it's acid. So, you know, when people try to argue the whole thing about benefits of alcohol and whatnot, it's not the end of the world. You do what works for you. I'm going to do what works for me, but I'm sharing with you my personal testimonial of how I got to wake the fuck up and go, you know what? I can't be committed to my growth and my bullshit stories at the same time of all this stuff that I'm believing about myself and my past and, you know, the things that are limiting me from my growth and my actual potential, right? So I overcame those things and now I am where I am, but it took me getting clear and looking at myself. You know, I tell people this all the time, go look at yourself in the mirror and look at yourself. You know, for me personally, why was I choosing to abuse alcohol? Because to me, that was abusing. The way that I was handling it, you know, yeah, it was a good time, it was fun, but it was still abusing. It was overconsumption, and it was way too often. And a lot of the reasons why I was doing it is because I was looking to escape my reality, right? Because I was not happy. So what happened was on January the 9th of 2000, what was that? 16. Yeah, 2016, I had some alcohol, way too much. I woke up the next morning and, or maybe it was January 8th, whatever it was. But anyway, I just remember I was drunk, right? And I was throwing up and I was like, oh my gosh. And then I was like asking myself, I was like, what in the bejesus? Like, why am I, you know, doing this? For what reason, you know, caused me to go out and drink like that? Like I hadn't actually done that in several years prior to that time. And times before that, you know, I had just drank and it had just been like I had some drinks. But this time I actually like really laid one on. I remember I was like taking shots and all kinds of stuff. And so I remember getting clear and saying like, Mandy, and asking myself, you know, what is it that's going on that's causing you to choose to suppress your reality? Like, why is it that bad? In other words, and I realized like I wasn't happy. I realized that, you know, what my heart really desired was for me to have an online lucrative business where I can do things like this, where I'm sharing with people and supporting and empowering others to transform their lives, heal their bodies, you know, be happy, live the life of their dreams, and also to travel. Like that's what my heart desired. And so as soon as I came to that realization, I decided that I was going to stop drinking alcohol, that I was going to give it up for at least a year. And it was funny because I've talked about this on other videos. I didn't really tell anybody else because I was like, I'm not really sure if I'll do that. Like my birthday's in June and who knows, maybe I'll have a drink and then maybe I'll have a drink on New Year's Eve. We'll just kind of see how it goes. But I actually made the commitment then. And I didn't only make the commitment mentally, I made the commitment emotionally as well. And there's a difference when you make a commitment to something where you make it mentally, where you're like, I think I'll try, or you make it emotionally as well and energetically, and everything lines up. And so the thing with me is that I had got so clear with myself. Of course I was crying. I felt like shit. I had a hangover, you know. And I got really clear with myself of deciding that the reason that I was doing those certain things is because I was unhappy. And I knew right then that I was the only person that could change my life. It wasn't anybody else. And so that I required making the decision that I was choosing to do something different moving forward. And that if I was desiring for my life to look different, that I was going to require making some changes. And that was going to be giving up things, you know, to let go of my bullshit stories about whatever it was that I was, you know, believing, and that I was going to create my new reality. And that's exactly what I did. So that's what I'm here to support and empower other people to do. And that's why I can share boldly my testimonial on these videos, is to support and empower other people, because I know that I'm not the only person, you know, that's had that type of challenge. And maybe yours isn't with alcohol. Maybe yours is with binge eating. Maybe yours is actually the opposite. It could be like bulimia or anorexia. Maybe yours is with sex. Maybe yours is with spending money. Maybe yours is with gambling. Maybe yours is with, I choose to know, right? But maybe yours is with something, and it isn't alcohol. But in other words, you and only you, my brother and sister, know what your bullshit stories are. And you know that if you're committing to your growth, that you're going to have to let those things go. You know, it's time to let those things go. So you can get clear with yourself, and you can ask yourself, and you can go into your heart and you can ask yourself, is it time for me to have a lifestyle change? Is it time for me to have my optimal health and my happy life and my rocking, healthy, sexy body? Because you can have it all. And once you start believing that, then you can start creating that. So that was just a little tidbit of all that information. Now I want to get more into the symptoms of the body. I'm not even sure how long I've been on here. I guess it's been about, what was it, like 25 minutes? So I have this article, and I'm going to post it below in the comments, of course, after I finish this video. But I talk about this a lot, how we actually break down energetically and emotionally before we break down physically. So I'm going to say that a little bit slower so that you guys can understand what I'm saying. If you're still here, go ahead and give me some thumbs up and hearts. I see a lot of people that tuned in, and I just want to make sure that my video is still good and that we're still rocking and rolling. It looks like I have some good reception going. So we break down energetically and emotionally before we break down physically. And what that means is we all feel emotions, right? Because we're human beings, and emotion is simply a feeling, or feeling is simply an emotion. They're basically the same thing. We call them feelings because we actually feel them. Okay, so an emotion is just energy in motion. So dash motion, energy in motion. Okay, so we are energetic beings. We are spirits and souls here having a physical human experience, but everything is energy, and we are energetic beings. I actually went to that workshop last night, and it talked about the electromagnetic frequency field of our hearts and how huge it is. And I choose to remember the exact number of the distance of how huge it is, and I don't want to say it wrong, but it was like, I don't know, 5,000, 500,000, 50,000. 50 million, I choose to know, but I'm going to look back at that, and I will post it below in the comments as well about how big the energetic field is of our heart. So it's the electromagnetic frequencies, just like we have magnetic frequencies in something like this cell phone that I'm holding, the one that I'm looking at right here, in your laptop, in microwaves. You know, there's so much stuff going on even around me sitting right now, from cell phone towers and Wi-Fi, little towers and all that stuff that I'm seeing on these houses that are right across from me. But there's actually more danger in the things that we can't see than the things that we can see. So that's a whole nother video. But we require being conscious of those things as well. But in other words, our heart has electromagnetic frequency fields. Okay, we have electric fields that come from us, and we are all heart. This is really what we are, a heart and our soul here. And it's such a beautiful thing. And you know, they talk about how, you know, people can recognize other people from how many ever distance away in terms of their electromagnetic frequency fields of their heart and things like that. And it's just so beautiful. So yeah, I'm going to post exactly what she said, or what she had on her little event last night about the exact distance of electromagnetic frequency fields. But also, really quick, since I'm on this subject, I want to mention how cool this was. Yesterday, oh no, I canceled. It was the day before that, right? So, you know, on Facebook, when you look through your news feed, sometimes you can see things pop up, right? So I'm staying with my sister, my beautiful sister, Dana, and I had on my news feed pop up that Dana was going to an event on Thursday night, and I barely glanced at it. I remembered it was a lady with dark hair, and it said something about energy healing in Brisbane, because we're not in Brisbane. It's about 45 minutes or so away. And I saw it, but it's almost like I didn't really acknowledge it. Like I saw it, but I kind of was like, you know, and then like later on that night, she said something about, you know, what's the plan for tomorrow? And then I said, well, aren't you going to some sort of like event tomorrow night? And she's like, I am. And she didn't remember that she was supposed to be going to an event. And I was like, yeah. I was like, I choose to remember the details, but it said something about energy healing. It was like brown hair. It was a lady with brown hair. I was like, I think it was in Brisbane. And Dana was like, oh, well, let me look. So she pulls out her phone and she starts looking on Facebook, and she goes, yeah. She goes, what this is a lady that hosts these events every last Thursday of each month. Okay, so this is the last Thursday right now of the month of June. She'll have the next one the last Thursday of the month of July. And Dana said, yeah, I had committed, you know, a while back. She's doing 4 in a row, so it's 4 months in a row. And Dana said, but I haven't been able to make it yet. So it must have been like that was kind of came up as like a reminder. Well, guess what? Obviously, I saw it, and there was a reason that I saw it. So that's a whole nother example of energy and how everything's connected and how everything's always in divine timing when we can trust. And so, of course, I see it, and I remind Dana about it, and she looks it up, and she's like, oh, yeah. And I'm like, we're required to go. Like that's a sign. You know, all of that is exactly the way that it's meant to be, because we're required to go to that. It's important that we go. So she messages the lady. And of course, we ended up going last night. And there's a little bit more to the whole story, but that's not what this video is about. But in other words, the address was wrong. We ended up at another house. We met this guy. He was looking for the same place. We were like, oh, are you looking for so-and-so? And then somehow we found that it was a different address through a different post on Facebook. So we went to the place that it really was, and we walked in, and there was already 2 people there. But then they had chairs for us, and it was perfect. And we all sat down, and we all shared, and it was really beautiful. And we talked about what I'm telling you right now about the heart and the electromagnetic frequency fields of the heart, and how this is omnipresent, and that we all are all heart. And once you can get into this place here of your heart, and you can let the ego and all the stories and strip all that stuff away, then you can live your life from here, and you can live your life with peace and ease, with effortless flow, and things will just unfold. And that's a perfect example of how it unfolded, you know. And this is how my life works. And when people hang out with me, they're like, wow, they think I'm like a witch, or there's some kind of magic or something going on. And I just laugh, and I'm like, well, let me just teach you my ways. Let me teach you what all this means. Let me teach you how all this works, and how you can do it for yourself as well. But in other words, when you get into that place of just peace and ease and flow, then things just start happening and you don't have to do a whole lot. And it's actually really beautiful. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. And so this is what I do, is I teach other people about this and how to do these things. So once again, that's just a perfect example. So we ended up going to the event last night and it was beautiful. And then when we finished the event, the lady even said, she was like, you three are soulmates. And she was talking about Dana, me, and the other guy that we met, Hamish. And she's like, you three are soulmates. And when you guys walked in and et cetera, et cetera. So she told us a little more about, her visions, that she knew that there would be three bodies, physical bodies coming. But that's kind of like a whole nother deal. But it's just really beautiful. So I was choosing to share that with you guys because, a lot of times people say, oh, it's coincidence or it's this or that. Just realize there are no coincidences in life. There are no coincidences. Everything is energy. Everything is connected. If you like to use the word coincidences, that's fine. But understand that there's something much bigger. There's a much bigger, higher, powerful force that is, supporting you in your life if you allow it and if you choose. So I want to talk more specifically about the symptoms, and I want to talk about how to get into your heart center. I'm going to talk a little bit about what she taught us to last night, and then just support you and motivate you and encourage you to understand and know that you can change your life and that you can create your reality. So once again, we break down energetically and emotionally before we break down physically. So what that means is that if you're experiencing certain things that are going on in your life that's causing you to feel, capital F, capital E, capital E, capital L, it's causing you to feel a certain kind of way, then you're having an emotion, which is simply E-motion, energy in motion. So for energetic beings, you can imagine that if you had all that stuff going on in your body, that you're going to be having some sort of symptoms of dis-ease, because your body is going to be out of balance. Does that make sense? So when your body's in homeostasis and in terms of the energy and everything's balanced and you're living your life in peace and in ease and in flow, you can imagine the kind of vibrational frequency that your body would be in compared to a physical body, let's say of a soldier who is at war, right? Or somebody who is experiencing, let's just say you're in a very abusive, marriage or potentially abusive relationship, or maybe you have a job that you really hate that's really toxic or whatnot, right? So you can imagine the vibrational frequency that a person would be in if they were experiencing these certain types of things. So understanding and realizing that what you have going on, okay, in your external outer world is simply a reflection of your internal world. That is actually how you start to shift your life and your reality. That's how you start to change what is showing up in your life, because you get to do the work to change what's going on here on the inside of you that will support you in changing on what you're seeing on the outside. Can I get an amen? Can I get some thumbs up and hearts? I'm about to take another sip of this watermelon mint juice. But I just want to make sure you guys are still there, because today I'm in that big time teacher mode. I haven't been looking much at the comments and whatever's going on down here, and I just want to make sure you guys are still there, because this is, to me, this video is flowing effortlessly, and I believe that this information is very, very valuable. So if you just jumped on to, do me a favor, click the share button and share this video to your timeline. And even if you're not on here live, even if you just tuned in, or you're watching the replay or whatever's going on, share this video to your timeline. This is stuff that I never knew, that when I learned this, it literally transformed my life to become a different person. And for me to be able to share this information is just amazing. I love it. That juice is wonderful. All right, so I'm going to use some bold examples. If you guys have anything specific, and if it's on this list, I'll read it to you. I'm also going to give you some recommendations of some books that you can get that'll support you in, changing your health. Okay, let's just say. But if you have anything specifically that you're challenged with in terms of your health, okay, please comment below. Right now, I'm going to go ahead and share blood pressure, because that's a really, really common one. A lot of people have high blood pressure, and some people do have low blood pressure as well. So let's just look at blood pressure here, and I'm going to talk about what blood pressure represents. So if someone has a physical symptom of blood pressure, what does that really mean? What does that person have going on that's causing them to have the physical symptom? Okay, high blood pressure, long-standing emotional problems not solved. Okay, low blood pressure is lack of love as a child and defeatism. So if you're on this video or watching this video, or potentially someone who has high blood pressure, of course I do. I have clients that I support, in weaning down off of blood pressure medication. Let me just tell you this, in terms of nutrition, 6 stalks of celery a day. It has to be 6. It can't be less. So you can either eat the celery, you can juice the celery, or you can put the celery in your smoothies, but the nutritional component of high blood pressure in terms of the phytochemicals found in celery, you want to make sure that you start getting celery into your life every day. And once again, it must be 6, okay? It can't be any less than 6, and you require being highly committed to getting that into your body every single day. Also, you require dealing with the emotional component of what you have going on. So if you have high blood pressure, long-standing emotional problems not solved. Seriously, like what are those things? You get clear on what you have going on. You know, a lot of times I support people, and then I find out that, you know, they're like, yeah, well, I hate my dad, or I hate my ex, or whatever, right? Well, don't even use that word hate. So cancel, clear, delete on all that energy. But in other words, if you have some long-standing emotional shit from your past that you are not able to let go of, and you have health challenges, dis-ease, DIS-EASE. If you have dis-ease, there's a reason why that's showing up in your physical body, because it's what you're hanging on to emotionally. It's what you're thinking about. And even if you're not consciously thinking about it, it's still there in your subconscious mind, okay? Our subconscious mind is responsible for our life and what's showing up in our life. So I myself had a lot of long-standing things from my childhood because my real dad wasn't around very often because he remarried, and he had, you know, my stepmom had 4 children. And so my real dad wasn't around very often. My stepdad was abusive, and I had a lot of long-standing emotional stuff growing up. And a lot of people do, right? A lot of times, I mean, we don't have perfect childhoods, but you get to, at some point in your life, realize that forgiveness is for you, and that you get to let go of all that shit, because if you don't, it's going to fuck you up. It's going to fuck up your health and everything that you're choosing to create for your life. Can I get an amen? Because I know I'm not the only person that has had challenges with long-standing emotional things, right? And you know what? I've never had any challenges with blood pressure, to be honest with you. But this is a very common one, and this is why I'm sharing the one about blood pressure. But let me just tell you, I had some of that long-standing emotional stuff show up in my body in other ways. I actually at one point had hypothyroidism. That's a very, very common one as well. Let's talk about what hypothyroidism represents, okay? Hypothyroidism represents anger with mom, okay? There's a lot of people that I know that have had challenges, you know, from their past with their moms, or even with their dad specifically. So anger with mom, it also, I'm going to look at it specifically on this article, because I actually know stuff from a lot of different teachings that I've been through. So thyroid gland is about humiliation. I never get to do what I want to do. When is it going to be my turn? Okay, if that sounds like you and you have challenges with your thyroid, it's time to get really clear on what all this means. Okay, I appreciate your honesty and sharing with us, Danita. So yeah, thyroid gland, humiliation. I never get to do what I want to do. When is it going to get to be my turn? You know, I was that too. I was literally feeling that exact same way. And I had anger with my mom. So I got to get really clear on all that. I got to let go of the anger with my mom. And guess what I got to do? I got to go move to Florida for 3 months. And that's exactly what I did. And guess what happened to my thyroid? It healed. Guess what happened? Everything was fine. My body balanced back out and everything was great. Seriously, that is exactly how fun and easy this is. So, hey, what's up, Whitney? How are you, beautiful? So hyperthyroid, since we're talking about the thyroid, I want to talk about this. Hyperthyroid is anger with dad. Okay, so if you have hyperthyroidism, you get to get clear on what kind of, you know, suppressed emotions or anger you're holding in terms of your dad. And know that it's also about rage at being left out. Rage at being left out. So if that resonates with you, so I'm actually going to post this article in the comments below. I'm going to touch on a couple more that I believe are really popular ones nowadays that so many people are on medications for, like the high blood pressure. So many people are doing that, when all you got to do is eat or juice or put in smoothies 6 stalks of celery a day and get clear on your emotional bullshit that you're hanging on to. The other one, so that was high blood pressure. And then we talked about thyroid, because so many females come to me dealing with the whole thyroid challenge. And the other really popular one, as we all know, is cholesterol. A lot of people are challenged with high cholesterol. And guess what? They keep eating the same shitty diet, and they're taking, what is it? Now I even choose to remember what it's called. I was talking about it just the other day. Leprotor or something like that. Comment below if you know what that drug is for the high cholesterol. But so many people are facing challenges with that, when really it's just emotional stuff that they're dealing with. So high cholesterol is clogging the channels of joy and fear of accepting joy. So if you have a lot of fear, then you don't believe that you deserve to be happy, and you're fearful of accepting joy into your life. And you're clogging the channels of joy by having your cholesterol challenges. Maybe that resonates with some people, because it's true. So, you know, once again, when you can understand, yeah, Lipitor, thank you, beautiful. Thank you, Shelly and Danita. Yeah, so once you can understand, the relationship between your emotions and then what you are experiencing on the physical level, you can heal your body. You do not require toxic pharmaceutical drugs. Be your own healer. Be your own doctor, okay? Take your power back. Go look at yourself in the mirror and get clear on what you have going on. And if you require some support from someone and you resonate with me, reach out. I would love to support you. I have programs in place. I do one-on-one coaching. I mean, you see me here on these videos. Imagine how it'd be if I was your coach. I mean, I will call you forward. I will call you forward in a loving way to support you in transforming your life, because you are here for a divine purpose that only you can fulfill. And if you're hanging out in your bullshit stories all the time, how are you going to be of use to of what God created you for on this earth? Okay, God, source, creator, universe, whatever word you choose to call it. But seriously, like, it's time to get real with yourself. If you're abusing alcohol or food or whatever you have going on, only you know, and we all know, right? So it was like I was doing all these things for my nutrition, I was working out, all these other things, but I was abusing alcohol and I knew it. Okay, nobody else on the outside would have thought that I was abusing alcohol, right? But I knew that I was, so I got to get real with myself. I was like, I think it's time to slow it down a little bit, and I did. I stopped completely, because I understood that's what I required doing for myself, for my growth and my purposes, to benefit me in creating the life that I loved and to heal my body. So I did. It's been a year and 6 months. I'm not saying I'll never drink alcohol again. Maybe I will one day, but it doesn't resonate with me right now. So what else do you guys want to know about? Comment below if you have any actual symptoms or diseases. Also, while we're on this subject, I want to talk about this real quick as well. A lot of people go around hanging on to that story of their past, of their childhood, of what happened to them when they were little, of all this and that, how their husband cheated on them, whatever their story is. But they go around and they literally tell every single person that they meet about their story, because they wear their story. They feel like they're not anything without their story. I challenge you and encourage you and invite you to start being yourself, who you are right now, without your story. Let that shit go. If you go meet someone brand new, you don't got to talk about all your baggage and your story. Let it all go. And if you're that person that's wearing that label on your forehead of, I have lupus, I have Lyme, I have fibromyalgia, I have multiple sclerosis, I have cancer. Guess what? If you're wearing that fucking label on your forehead and you're running around and you're telling everybody that you have this dis-ease, guess what you're doing to your physical body? Because we actually communicate with our physical body down to a cellular level. So if you're speaking it out loud, even our thoughts are that powerful. So even if you're not speaking it out loud, realize that what you're thinking about, what you're focusing on, also is having an effect on your physical body. So if you are agreeing with some doctor because he pulls out some blood work panel and tells you now, because here's your blood work, and he hands it to you, and he's like telling you now, he's labeling you and telling you, you have high blood pressure, you have high cholesterol, you have hypothyroid, or maybe it's a she or whatever, right? No, you hear this a lot in like church, because I used to go to Lakewood a lot when I lived in Houston. It's like, it's not what the medical report says, it's what God says, like whatever works for you, but understand that you are your own healer, you are your own doctor, you are your own guru, and you can have other people that can support you in opening the door to getting clear to this. Let's say I wrote this a second ago. Your teacher can open the door, but you must enter yourself. Boom. Can I get an amen? Can I get some thumbs up, some hearts? Seriously, because that is so hardcore. Like, I can open the door for people. There's been a lot of naturopaths and healers and holistic doctors and mentors and people that have opened the door, and coaches that have opened the door for me. But at the end of the day, I'm my own healer. Those people are not in my head. They are not thinking my thoughts. They are not me. Right? They are not me. They don't know what I'm obsessing over. They don't know what I'm focusing on. They don't know that maybe I'm being negative or pessimistic, or that I have a lot of fear about something, right? Like, get clear on that, because only you know. I mean, I have clients that I've been supporting for a year or so now, and they're still struggling with the fear factor and the different things they have going on. It's only common. It's not abnormal, right? So give yourself permission to forgive yourself, because I can't say that I don't ever have fear. I can't say that I don't ever have a negative thought, but what I do is I catch it. I snap out of it really quick. I replace it with, my affirmations, my loving thoughts. I get back into my heart center. I get back in place. I get gratitude. I get in the now. And I understand that just because I have these fearful thoughts about something does not mean that has to be what it really is, because fear is just false evidence appearing real, right? Does that make sense? Give me some thumbs up and hearts. Man, I'm getting crunk over here in Australia. And I'm going to talk a second here about some books, but let's talk a little bit more. I had someone say sugar cravings. Thank you, Melanie, for your comment. Beautiful. Let me see here. I'm trusting that sugar cravings is on this article. If not, I can tell you a little bit about it. I was challenged with sugar cravings as well in the past at one point. And another way too for the sugar cravings is to eat more fruit, okay? Because if you're craving sugar, you're craving the sweetness of life. So somewhere you're not getting the sweetness of life, and so therefore you're taking it out on having the sugar because you're not getting the sweetness of life. So my beautiful sister, dig deep into your heart. And what is your passion? That's why I posted that earlier, whatever time that was, because we're on different time zones. But I made that post. I said, I'm curious to know, what are you passionate about? It's so true, because passion, being in your passion on a daily basis is part of the principles of health, is part of getting your body into the vibrational frequency of healing your body and having optimal health. Maybe you don't have any dis-ease or health challenges now, but that doesn't mean you wouldn't potentially face one at some point. And we all desire to be optimally healthy. So like, stay in that vibrational place right now. So figure out what your passion is. So if you've lost the sweetness of life, Melanie, give me some thumbs up, hearts, comment below. Let me know if that resonates with you, because there was times in my life, my former, when he transitioned in May 2011, goodness gracious, I was binging on cakes and cookies and wine and like anything I could get my hands on sweet. I wasn't even really eating real food because I was going through that thing with my head mentally. And I was a personal trainer. I knew all about health. I knew it all, but it was like, you couldn't tell me nothing. That's what I felt like doing. And that's what made me feel better. And that's what I did. And I did it for about 6 months or so. And of course it led to more dis-ease and more challenges and more of the mental stuff, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on all day. But in other words, I'm sharing this with you guys because I'm being completely authentic, raw, and real, that I've been there before. So I'm not just, a person that's sitting here trying to tell you what to do. And the reason I am so passionate about it is because I've been through all that shit already and I've overcome it, transformed and transmuted it, and now I live a life of my amazing dreams. I'm optimally healthy, and I get to support other people in waking up and remembering their truth as well. And I appreciate you so much for continuing to give me the love, my beautiful Shelly. So it's not on this actual list, but once again, that is what sugar cravings represents. You've lost the sweetness of life. You're looking to have, whatever it is that you're not getting, you're looking to have that fulfilled, so you're craving sweets. And also, craving sweets can have to do with fear as well. So you're potentially living in a place of fear. For whatever reason, and so you're choosing to have that to make you feel better. I've been there, done that. So feel my love and appreciation. I appreciate you sharing. If anybody else has anything that you would like to post below, please do now so that I can answer you. Hey, what's up, Augustine? The other thing I want to say really quick too is the fear factor of the diagnosis. Good Lord, I still remember when I've had doctors tell me all kinds of stuff about whatever type of diagnosis, right? And they tell me all these things. I had this one doctor tell me that I could potentially go blind, I could become paralyzed. Like, he told me all this shit. He freaked me out. I literally thought I was going to die, like for real, for real. I was like, good Lord, I had suffered from depression, or cancel and suffer, but I had experienced challenges with depression. And then here I am with these diagnoses, with this lab work right in front of my face, and the doctor's like pointing and telling me all this stuff. And then he's like freaking me out. And I'm like thinking, wow, I'm for real, this is for real. And it was very traumatizing for me. That was actually at the end of 2012. So I've been through a lot, you guys, and like I said, I'm just here to be authentic and real and let you know that there are ways to overcome this stuff. So when you have a doctor tell you, like, oh, you have a tumor, you have a cyst, or you have cancer, whatever these diagnoses are, understand that that's just a label, right? That's just a word, and that you have created it, my friends. And so feel my love and appreciation if that does not resonate with you and you don't understand that, because I oftentimes have people that get really offended when I tell them that. But just understand that you create everything. You create your reality, that we are energetic beings. So if you have a dis-ease in your body, my brother or sister, that you have created it. You get to love it, let it be okay. You get to give yourself permission to forgive yourself, and you get to find a health coach, someone like myself or whoever else resonates with you, and you get to get really fucking clear with your life and what you got going on and what you got going on emotionally and why you're functioning the way you are and why you're living your life the way that you are, whatever type of lifestyle you have. And you get to fully commit to your health and to transforming your life if you choose, right? It's a choice. It's your choice. Let's see what else. Shelly says diabetes, psoriasis is very common. Okay, let me show you those. So let's see. Diabetes. That's also another one that has to do with the sweetness of life, for sure. Diabetes, longing for what might have been, a great need to control, deep sorrow, no sweetness left. So once again, losing the sweetness of life. I had someone that I know really close to me who got diagnosed with diabetes. And honestly, when something happens, okay, with your health, what is going on in your life at that time? So when I start coaching clients, I say, well, what was going on when you got diagnosed with diabetes? And they said, well, my wife had just died. Well, of course that makes sense that you were going through a lot of things emotionally if your wife had just, transitioned. Cancel clear on the died. But if your wife had just just transitioned, yeah, you're going to be experiencing some emotional things, wouldn't you? So long standing for what might have been a great need to control and deep sorrow and no sweetness left. Okay, if you're on this video and you haven't shared it yet, it is your divine responsibility, honestly, to share this information with others. Because if you don't know this information and you know that I know this information, you're actually supporting others by sharing my video, right? Does that make sense? That's what we're here for, guys. We are all one. We are here to support other people and raise each other up. So, you know, I do this, like I said, because I choose to share with people to understand that you can heal your body. You can change your life. Really quick, too, while we're here, you said psoriasis, but I know eczema is also a very common one, and it's right here on the list, so I'm going to show that or share that one as well. Eczema is breathtaking antagonism and mental eruptions. So remember too, anything that's being expressed on your skin is actually your third kidney, right? You have two kidneys. They call the skin the third kidney. They refer to it as that. Why? Because if you're not filtering and you're not getting the toxins out, if you're not shitting good and you're not peeing good, because the way that we get our toxins out of our body is pooping, peeing, sweating, and breathing, right? Perspiring. Perspiring with sweat, respiration with the breathing, and the pooping and the peeing. So if you're not getting the toxins out of your body, then it's going to show up on your skin. It's going to show up on your face. It's going to show up on your body. It's going to show up as maybe psoriasis, eczema, rashes, whatever it is. But then you also get to understand that consciousness is king, and that if you wouldn't agree to it, it couldn't be in your physical body no matter what if you wouldn't have agreed to it, okay? When my coach started telling me that, and it really like struck a chord and the light bulb went off and the bell started ringing, I was like, you're right. Like somewhere along the line, I've agreed to this. You know, I've agreed to this label. I've agreed to this diagnosis. I've agreed that I have a chemical imbalance in my brain. I've agreed to all this bullshit that somebody else is telling me when I know my body better than anybody else does, right? I'm going to be my own doctor, my own healer. I do not require someone else telling me. I know what is best for me, right? So when the light bulbs start going off, which is exactly what I'm here for, is to inspire, motivate, encourage, empower people to remember their truth, right? Take their power back, okay? Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. So let me see what else we got. If anybody else has anything, please comment below and I will answer that for you as well. Psoriasis. Psoriasis, Shelly, is a fear of being hurt, deadening the senses of the self, refusing to accept responsibility for our own feelings. Boom, that's a pretty big one. So a lot of times people, they refuse to accept responsibility for their own feelings, for one, but they don't even want to feel their feelings. So many people, they suppress their feelings and their emotions, which of course is going to cause some sort of energetic imbalance. Does that make sense? You know, when we're little kids, we're told like, hush up, be quiet, go to your room, what's wrong? So we're already taught from a really young age that it's wrong because we feel something. It is not wrong to feel something. We require fully feeling our feelings in order to transform our lives and in order to transform our health. Ooh, it's almost been an hour. So just understand that if you have something going on in your body that, yeah, you created it, take full responsibility for your thoughts, for your lifestyle, for your feelings, for everything that you have going on. And understand that somehow or another on an energetic level that you have created it and that you can change your life. So I'm going to be posting the link below to this article in the comments. I'm also going to mention a couple of books. I posted the link to these books on other videos, and I'll go ahead and post them for you as well. I wasn't going to because it's, you know, just a lot more to do with sharing this information. But either way, I will post them for you. But take out a pen and a piece of paper. Take responsibility for your health and your life. Be proactive in it. Write this stuff down, please. The books are called, one of them that is really, really amazing is called Feelings Buried Alive Never Die by Kathleen Truman. The other one is called Mind Over Medicine by Dr. Lisa Rankin. There's probably a few others that I can think of that I'll post in the comments as well, but those are the two that I wrote down earlier. And then I'm also going to post a recipe for something called Fire Water that I learned about in my Advanced Food Healing Certification course that supports people in getting off of toxic drugs. Pain pills, right? A lot of people take pain pills for all kinds of stuff they have going on, and this actually is made with ginger root, which has the phytochemical gingerol in it, which is actually the extract that they use to create these pain meds anyway, except for there's a whole bunch of other toxic shit in there that your body doesn't recognize. It's horrible for like your kidneys and your liver, etc., etc. So I'm going to post the recipe to the Fire Water below as well, and you can use this Fire Water recipe to replace any kind of pain pills. If you're taking pain pills for any kind of reason, this is all natural. This is made by God. This is a root, right? This is plants. Hey, beautiful, I won't be doing smoothie ideas on this video. I apologize. That's not what this video is about, but I appreciate you tuning in, Stacy. Yeah, so Let's see what else. Also, too, Stacey, I have my what is it? The 3-day reset on my website. The investment's $47, which is like less than what most people spend on going out on a weekend, right? So, if you're interested in that, it's a 3-day reset. It's a nutrition plan that can support anybody who is looking to start, transitioning into more of a healthier lifestyle. So, it's on my website, MandyFonville.com. The link's above this video. Also, you can go to my website and you can get a free guide to kick the sugar cravings. It also has some free recipes. There's 3 free recipes there, especially anybody who has sugar cravings, anybody who's challenged with any of that. This is a way to support you in replacing, whatever it is that you're doing with a more healthier way of, getting your sugar cravings needs met, okay? Your sugar needs met, because this is real whole food. It's, sweetened with like dates, maple syrup, or I choose to remember honey. Either way, it's healthy for you, okay? So go to my website for the Kick the Sugar Cravings, and I'm going to look up one more for you really quick, and then I'm going to cut this short. Sjogren's syndrome or lupus. Okay, let me look up lupus. How do you spell that? S-J. I don't think that one's on here. I have seen that before, though, on another list. For that specifically, but either way, and I know we've talked about this before, my beautiful sister, and you actually have this article, so make sure that you're referring to it. I would recommend printing this article out. For anybody who's watching this video, print this article. I'm going to put it in the comments below. Print this article out, take a highlighter, go through the list. When you see a symptom that resonates with you, that maybe it's something that showed up a lot for you in the past or potentially showing up for you now, highlight it, okay? And then look at the emotional component, just like how I'm reading it to you guys. Look at the energetic emotional component that goes along with it, and then in another column, get really clear on what that really means in your life, right? Hypothyroidism, anger with mom, of course. And then third column, I'm going to write, yeah, I've had a lot of anger with my mom because, and I'm going to write all the reasons why I've had anger with my mom, but then I'm going to get to love it and let it go and understand that all that's happened in my life has all been for a divine reason and a purpose to support me in my greatest expansion and growth, to be the person that I am here now today, to show up fully in the world, to support other people, right? If I wouldn't have gone through the things that I went through, I wouldn't be who I am now. But in other words, we require getting really clear on these things, right? Slapping ourselves a little bit, waking ourselves up, looking at ourselves in the mirror, and get really clear of what's going on, because nobody else knows all that stuff but you, okay? So lupus, my beautiful sister, is a giving up. Better to die than stand up for oneself. Anger and punishment. So in other words, somebody who's experiencing challenges with lupus is really someone who's experiencing a lot of anger, and they're would rather just die or check out than stand up for themselves, and they're punishing themselves, and they're just choosing to give up, right? They're choosing to give up. That's not the answer, my beautiful brothers and sisters. That's not the answer, okay? We're all here for divine purpose and a reason. God created you. God, source, creator, universe, whatever word you choose to use. But understand that you're here for a purpose and a reason. I remember in the deep, dark throes of my depression, you could have told me that, and I would have been like, whatever, dude. Like, I wasn't feeling it back in those days, but I wasn't. I was going to church. I was going to classes. I was doing all these things. But a lot of it was my lifestyle, too. I was still drinking alcohol. I was eating horrible foods. My body was inflamed. I'm going to go ahead and share, too, constipation, because that's a big one. If you're not shitting, okay, if you don't clear this up down here, you can't clear this up here. So I promise you, if you have constipation and you're not shitting good, then you have all those toxins that are just being reabsorbed into your bloodstream. And when your body is acidic and toxic like that, you're not going to feel very good. I can promise you that for sure. So I talk about constipation a lot, very openly. You guys know I love that poop emoji, even my profile picture with that blue shirt where I'm saying let it go, like let that shit go, literally and figuratively. So constipation is incomplete releasing, holding on to garbage of the past, guilt over the past, and sometimes stinginess. So, a lot of people do have guilt over their past. They have garbage or shit that they're holding on to from their past. Incomplete releasing. So anytime you're experiencing constipation or your stomach is hurting, the stomach here is fear and grief. So anytime you have anything going on with that, understand that you have some fear and grief somewhere that you require dealing with. Diarrhea is fear. If you have diarrhea, big time fear. So sometimes people say, "Ooh, I have diarrhea. It must have been that salsa that I ate or something," right? But diarrhea is fear, rejection, and running off. So if you have diarrhea, fear, rejection, and running off. So you get to say, "Ooh, I had diarrhea this morning. What am I really fearful about?" Right? I mean, just get clear on it, because your subconscious mind communicates with you through your physical body. Got all this energy going here. Your subconscious mind communicates with you through your physical body, right? So when you're experiencing certain symptoms or dis-ease in the body, it's because of something that's going on. Your subconscious mind's trying to communicate to you. It's trying to tell you, stop living your life this way. Stop thinking this way. Let that shit go, right? I feel my love and appreciation for y'all. I love it. That's my phrase. I love it. So feel my love and appreciation. This video's gotten quite long. I appreciate each and every one of you who have been on this video. If you're on this video right now, it's your divine responsibility, if it resonates with you, to share this video, because this video is chock full of information that will support anybody who has any kind of health challenges, from acne to freaking cancer. So everyone has the big fear of the word cancer. Cancer is just another label or diagnosis of something going on in the body. Actually, while we're on that subject, let's talk about what cancer represents. Because, you know, people freak out about cancer. Cancer is really no different than other diseases in the body. Cancer is no different than like lupus or cerebral palsy or even high cholesterol. There's really no difference. It's just whatever vibrational frequency the person is on that they're experiencing these symptoms. Make sense? Here we go. Cancer, deep hurt, long-standing resentment. Yeah, right? Deep secret or grief, eating away at the self. Carrying hatreds. Okay, that is what cancer represents. Deep hurt, long-standing resentment, deep secret or grief, eating away at the self and carrying hatreds. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, I'm going to post this article in the comments below. You guys know I could talk forever, probably another 5 hours. And eventually I will be. I'm going to be hosting all kinds of seminars all over the world, you guys. Can you see it? I can see it. So, I'm just super passionate about what I do. I love what I do. I love teaching. I love sharing with others. But once again, this video was about becoming your own healer and becoming your own doctor. And I'm going to be sharing in the comments below this article specifically. I'm going to be sharing the recipe for the fire water to support people in getting off pain medications. Those things are horrible. They're toxic for your body. They're toxic for your kidneys and your liver. And they're also very highly addictive, okay? So I'm going to be sharing the recipe for that. And then also the books that I mentioned, The Feelings Buried Alive Never Die, Mind Over Matter. And I'm sure there's several others that I'll think of, you know, once I start posting this stuff. But please feel my love and appreciation for each and every one of you that are on this video now live or that's potentially watching the replay. If you feel called to do so and it resonates with you, because we all know people that are facing dis-ease and health challenges. They're suffering, they're sick, and they're on toxic pharmaceutical drugs, and they're listening to what the doctors have to say. Unfortunately, and the doctors only have about 4 hours of nutrition. They don't know much about nutrition, guys, unfortunately. So, you know, you have people that have these challenges and they require support. So obviously I'm a health coach. If I resonate with you and you desire some support, don't hesitate to comment below on this video or reach out, send me a private Facebook message. I have lots of programs in place, and I also do coaching. So, you know, private one-on-one coaching. And even if you can't work out, there was 3 years of my life where I could not work out. Seriously, May 2011 till May 2014, I could not work out. It wasn't healthy or healthful for me to work out. All I could do was like take walks and listen to my audios and stuff. But I couldn't lift weights. I couldn't do anything too strenuous. So even if you're in that place where you're like, oh, she's my trainer Mandy and she can't support me because I can't do her workout app. No, you can still do something. Like, I can still support you. It doesn't matter where you're at on your journey. I have a certification in advanced food healing. We have protocols from acne to freaking cancer, constipation, all of it, you name it. So the nutrition part of it's covered. Consciousness coaching, this has been my lifestyle since, you know, the middle of 2015. I'm super passionate about it because consciousness is king, and it's exactly how I transformed my life, how I spontaneously, miraculously healed my body, the hypothyroidism, everything else that I had going on. And I'm super passionate about it, and I know beyond a shadow of a doubt that if you reach out to me that I will know exactly what you're talking about, because I know I'm so passionate about it. That's all I do is read and research and study all this stuff. So I have people that are like, you probably don't know about so-and-so, but so-and-so. And I'm like, oh yeah, actually I do. And most of the time I've actually kind of experienced some sort of way or another of something that they're referring to. But either way, and if I can't support you, I'll lead you in the direction of someone that I know for a fact can support you. So if I can support you in any kind of way, please feel free, comment below this video, send me a private Facebook message. If you're a female and you're not in my Emotional Detox Challenge group, it's free. Check it out above this video. Click the link. Also, if you're looking for how to kick the sugar cravings, check out my website. The link's above this video as well. Get signed up for those free recipes. And then also I have my 4-week fast track emotional program. Or no, I'm getting them all confused. 4-week fast track transformation program. My next group actually starts on Monday, July the 10th. That's my most encompassing program. That's for people that are really freaking hardcore and are ready to just, you know, go into it and like transform their life, transform their health, transform their mind, body, and soul. It's a beautiful program. I appreciate everyone who's given me so much love right now and everybody who's on here. Dana, Catherine, Yvonne. I just saw Shannon go across with your beautiful profile picture. Lisa, how are you, sister? But yeah, Catherine. And my mama, I saw my mama go across a second ago. But in other words, I have programs in place. 4-week fast track transformation program. I have my 21-day transformation challenge. If you're looking just for the nutrition, go to my website, sign up for the 3-day reset. It's only an investment of $47. If you're looking for some recipes, Stacy Signs, and you're looking for a way to start transforming, you know, your health by changing your nutrition, that would be the way right there. So yeah, feel my love and appreciation for each and every one of you, and do me a favor and share this video to your timeline. And I look forward to catching up with all you guys soon. Mwah! Bye guys, feel my love. Yay! See you later.